What does that mean? I can't see any planes for the air raid.
Yeah, it does sound like that.
Earthquake? It's the earthquake, that's bloody terrifying. Or is that the call for the local fire and rescue guys? There's been an accident somewhere.
Pretty fucking loud, bro.
Yeah, it is loud. There goes the fire truck. It's not an earthquake. Let's hope not. Okay, yep, there it goes. There's the fire truck. That's the local fireys. This place is stunning. Stunning. New Zealand falcon. It is beautiful. Just had my first glimpses of the river. Oh, what a valley. Everywhere I look is just stunning. Tell you, yeah. Oh, this place. Wow. What I'd give to fish just with my dad. Rodney, but we need to find a way to fish this place together. Wow, so this is stunning. So, gear reviews. I've been perfectly fine with my regular setup, which is my Sims vest and my fish pond lumber pack, the submersible lumber pack, the Thunderhead, and then super happy with my regular purple net, the McLean's net with a short handle, which I've now organised a way to either have it on my hip or actually have it up higher on the top of my vest to keep it out of the bushes. That's working great. But interestingly enough, all the guides, they have a different setup. They've all got waterproof backpacks. In their case, they've all been Sims waterproof backpacks, and then lanyards up front. Excuse me, I'm seeing a lot of the CNF lanyards up front. And that seems to be the go. Interesting. So of course they need to be able to carry spare jackets for clients, or if clients get too warm, they can take the jackets from the clients. And then they've got our sandwiches for the day. Pretty sure they've all got a medical kit. And they've definitely all got EPIRBs. Yesterday Gavin actually had an inReach. So they're pretty sorted. But yeah, it's very little up front, very little in front of them, and most of it at the back. Interesting. So after the last 2 days, I've had yesterday and this morning, I've had a really good chance to chat to our New Zealand guides about how they fish. Sounds as though if it's windy, or if it's going to get windy in the afternoon, they use a 6-weight, and if it's still, as it is this morning, they'll all drop down to a 5-weight. And then, in general, it seems as though they're looking for a a 12-pound or 15-pound nylon leader terminating in 4x, and then they build off that. So the 4x might go to the dry dropper, and then maybe 5x below the dry dropper, or 3x to the dry dropper, and then 4x down to the nymph. That seems to be the setups. So I haven't been too far wrong fishing in Australia this last year, where I sort of fished half the year, 3/4 of the year actually, with 3x. And then I did that, my tippet test, and then became much more confident after I improved my knots. After I moved to a 7 rotation clinch knot, non-improved clinch knot. Once I changed to better knot strengths on 4x, I actually became so much more confident with that, and finished the season fishing a little bit of 4.5x. So I think that's what I need to do this next year, 2024 in Australia, is make an effort to maybe fish a bit more 4, 4.5 and 5x, as they definitely do drop down to 5x here. They reckon the thinner tippet helps to get the nymphs down quicker in the deeper water, the deeper runs, and you need the 5x. It's not so much about the breaking strain. Rods are so good they can handle the 5x. It's about allowing the nymph to drop quicker. So maybe this year I'll try and fish a bit of 5x. I've had it here on my trout hunter right in front of me. I've had the 5x there really since I started fishing trout hunter mid last year, but I've never used it. It's just been empty. So when I dropped that tippet of trout hunter, the whole spool of trout hunter, into the Murray River, I lost a spool of 5x that had never been used. There we go. What a place, my God. Just on the topic of tippet strength, so Gavin, my guide yesterday, was very interesting. He didn't have any 3x at all. He had 4, 5 and 6 in both fluoro and nylon. And so he's a big proponent of a 12-foot or a 15-foot leader nylon straight through to your first fly. If your second fly is another dry, or if you want to lengthen that leader to a dry, then he sticks with nylon. But if you're fishing a dry dropper and the extension to the point fly, it's a sinking point fly or 2 sinking point flies below the dry, then he goes fluoro for that. He's always stepping down in leader diameter, stepping down in strength, so that if you hook up, if you get caught, you just lose your nymph. You don't lose the nymph and the dry, because all of this trip I've pretty well been fishing 4x to the dry, and then fluoro, and then 4x down to the nymph. That's all I've pulled off my trout hunter so far. So every day just learning so much. I'm trying not to ask too many questions, trying to just listen to what they say. It's so difficult. These guys have caught so many big fish, it really is amazing. So Todd was very, very interesting in the car trip down, talking about fighting big fish when they jump. So he's very much in the camp of bowing to the fish. So for him, it's pointing your rod at the trout that's jumping, and then immediately when it's back on the water, is getting it back under control, tightening. So I don't really do that. I pretty well keep it tight all the time. But Todd's of the opinion that when the trout's in the air and wiggling its head and bringing its tail around, it's almost trying to hit the line, or it could hit the line. to help it spit the hook. So that's why he reduces pressure, which I thought was quite interesting. But Todd's also of the opinion that a bigger bend in your rod actually helps protect your knots. And if you're almost, pointing, it seems to contradict what I was saying earlier about pointing at the trout. It's just when it's jumping. The rest of the time, what he's saying is you want to keep a really good bend in your rod. That actually, the rod then acts as a shock absorber, and the knots themselves are not put under so much strain. Whereas if your rod is barely bent, then it's putting a lot more pressure on the knots, which fascinating. I mean, it's so good to hear him describe it so succinctly. I think intuitively I've known that, or always known that, but I never really thought much about it. So Todd is very much of the opinion that when you're fighting the fish, he wants to see a really big bend in the rod, with the rod doing its work, almost bending to the butt. So I gotta keep that in mind. I think I do that, but yeah. So I'm quite proud of my fly box, because I just carry the one, and I've got the two different leaves, the two different sides of it. So I suppose four faces of flies. My dries on the one, and mops and streamers on another, and then nymphs. It's interesting that Todd's first comment to me was that my fly box is very bright. And I watched a Dave and Amelia Jensen video last night, and I remember looking at their boxes. Like, they've got one whole box pheasant tails weighted, another whole box pheasant tail unweighted. Their box is a lot more drab than mine. And I'm having plenty of success in Australia with my bright nymphs. But just interesting. A local experience there, maybe. Maybe I need to tone down my gold beads a little bit. It does look like I've got a lot of jewellery in my fly box. Maybe I need to have some more dull flies. You can clearly see it's a long walk to the beginning of this beat. I've been walking now 45 minutes. It's lots of time for me to reflect. Sorry about getting a little bit emotional earlier, but I've been putting off coming to New Zealand, for cost, but also because I really wasn't sure my fly fishing skills were up to it, and I wanted to make sure that they were honed. So hence all the fishing last year in Australia. But now that I'm here, I just reflect on our friends. Yeah. How much it'd be nice to do this with Rodney, my fishing buddy, and my dad. Look at that river. Stunning. Alright, we've temperature check. Outside 12 actually outside, and the water is 8. Yeah, baby. Right, so Todd took my 12-foot 4X leader, and then he's added on 1, 2, 3, 4 feet of 4X, and I'm fishing I think it's a cicada. It looks great. Bit of gold in it.
Cast me? Just cast me. Yeah, probably just stop for a second and 20. Yeah. There you go, this. Come have a look at this. Fish scales. See the fish scales on there?
Thank you. That's great. bloody brilliant.
Yeah, we've got 3 scales on the end of his hook. Yeah, try that again, mate. Just keep putting that same cast up there, exactly the same. Good. Nice, try that again. A little bit longer, probably half a metre longer. Perfect, almost. Good, great. Yep, strike. Oh, you see him eat it?
Yeah. Yeah. Is that too fast?
No, probably a little bit too slow actually.
Oh.
Right there, Rob, don't move.
There's no resistance.
Yeah. He might have missed it, who knows?
Yeah, I think.
Another metre to the left of that. Right. Yeah, pretty good. Probably about half a metre longer.
Yeah.
Good. Here he comes. Chase it. Strike! Nice, mate. Good fish. Well done. Get that line on the reel if you can.
Yep.
See the bend in the rod.
Yep.
This is a nice big fish.
It's 10 pounds. That's a 10 pounder if ever I've seen one.
That's it. I'm going to walk to you, okay?
Yep. All the time in the world, mate.
All the time in the world, Marco. You're on the reel.
Yep.
Now you know what to do.
Yep. So this way? Bring him into the softer water.
Lumsden, turn this head into here. Yeah, there you go. Yep. Push it up a little bit.
Yeah, all good. All good.
You're doing great, Michael.
Thanks.
Yeah. Bit of a alligator roll there. It's gonna get it here.
Try and get this head up and around like that, yeah. That's it. Rather than walking down, just try and hold him into that side.
I think this is gonna be it here.
And just bring him set up.
Todd's trying to get him to bring it in, like to bring it in closer to the edge.
Oh mate,
Todd, Michael,
that is a
fish of a lifetime.
that is.
Todd, you called it, mate.
Mate.
Well done, buddy.
Well done, mate.
Absolutely
that is
beautiful.
just the most brilliant fish.
I can die happy. Is the hook out?
No, still in there.
Yeah, okay.
We'll lift him up.
Yeah, give him some water or something. Yeah.
Okay, mate.
Thank you.
Composure.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much indeed. Now, if you cope with you
On the cicada.
On a cicada. You called it, Todd. Well done, mate.
Yes, congratulations, that was brilliant. Absolutely amazing.
You hold that.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
What size are they? Jesus.
Even for this river, mate, it's a great fish.
Just a touch under 8 pounds. Fantastic.
Fish of a lifetime.
100%.
My dad fished his whole life and caught 1 8-pounder.
Gee, he took it well, didn't he? He really wanted it. I shouldn't swear, but
No, mate. Enjoy it.
You want to be
I
down?
just
You want to be
cannot-
downriver,
I just cannot.
and let's get a few nice photos.
I can't tell you how much. That is, I really love it. Right, touch under 8 pounds. Fantastic.
Fish of a lifetime.
100%.
You get one a safety shot, just bring him out like that in the net.
Yeah, safety shot. Yeah,
Bring the,
yeah, safety shot. I like the name. Put him in that slacker current, closer to Todd.
he's alright now.
Come in again. Wow, Michael, fish of a lifetime. Wow.
By
the way,
thank you so much.
And you notice there, hey, your casting, it all came together for
I know.
like 4 or 5 casts. So I got this lens, so be careful.
Oh, man. I'm still shaking.
Played it well, we did everything right. The first one was like, oh yep, did everything right, got unlucky. Second one, did everything right.
That was the real deal. Proper cast, spotted by the guard.
Yes, with all due modesty, there was no luck involved in that. Fantastic spotting by the
I think
top.
that's right.
And then we got there.
Put your rod, make sure
Yeah,
you don't lose that.
yeah. Oh, that's brilliant. And then a few big stones in the way as well, and then it fell over once.
I saw that.
Down with 50 minutes.
Yeah, yes, yeah, yeah.
We'll cut that fall out of the footage. Out of the family video.
And again, and again.
Todd,
That was all you.
no, that was you.
That was you, my
You
friend.
saw it.
You saw it.
You saw it.
I would have walked right past that.
I didn't want to tell you how big that fish was, but I saw it from the top of that bank there.
Yeah.
And I said to Todd, that's every bit of 10 pounds. That's what it looked like to me, because it was that thick across
Yeah.
the back.
Yeah. Far out. Right, mate. You're up for the next one. We're going to get you one.
That's the plan.
That is just insane. And you know what? The trouble is, you now think, I want more. I want more. You want more fish like that?
Well, if you could just today,
Yes, yes,
maybe not.
yes.
You can have more once I've got something, please. I know that's what you meant. That's all good. I think the reality of what's just happened now is you wouldn't have just caught that dry dropper going up. It had to be on the right line. And so the guide has got you an 8-pounder. It's not like some of the other fish we've caught